Spirit has been having me teach people about earning their rights in the spirit recently, so I'm gonna explain it to you too, because I swear I explained it like 3 or 4 times yesterday, so we're gonna talk about it. If you cast a spell, sometimes this happens when we don't necessarily ask for something, like sometimes spirit will usher us through a season to earn certain rights. But in terms of navigation, we're gonna talk about it like you chose it. Spell work, spell binding, I want this thing. And then we're going to talk about it in a more kind of like elusive way at the end. So, say that you cast a spell, there's a manifestation that you want. Maybe it's a new job, maybe it's a new relationship, maybe, specifically, this is what I'm asking for, this is what the spell is for. Okay. Well, a lot of the times there's time in between when you do the spell and when you get the thing, when you receive it. And in that time frame, there's usually work that needs to be done. Maybe there's cycles that need to be broken. Maybe there's patterns that come up in your life, or maybe people are treating you in a certain kind of way and you have to navigate the situations. So in that time frame, from the time that you do the spell to the time that it is now like in your life, all those things that you go through that spirit sends you into and that your spirits ask you to go and witness and be a part of and experience, those things will earn you the right of what it is that you asked for in the first place. Let's say, for example, that you really, really want to have a job that has a certain kind of lifestyle and makes a certain amount of money and has a certain kind of benefit to it or benefits to it. And that's what the spell is for. It could be for your dream life or like having your dream lifestyle, right? So all of the things that you will then go through to get to the position over there, it will be trials and hardships and uncomfortable situations that don't make any sense and look like the downfall. They look like the opposite of what you asked for. You asked to have your dream life and now all of a sudden you don't have a job. I've had that happen, okay? Not always fun. Sometimes magic is super unpredictable. We don't always know what's gonna happen. That's why divinating before spell work is always a good idea. It is what it is, okay? Do I always divinate before my spells? No. Is it useful? For sure, though. When I'm doing collective work and like collective spells, I will definitely divinate. But when it comes to my personal stuff, sometimes like I'm gonna light the candle right now. Anyways, going back to the earning of rights stories, okay? So how you navigate those situations. Say that you do ask for your dream life. Now all of a sudden you're going through things where it's like my life is falling apart, things are not working the way that they're supposed to, etc., 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 right? One of the things that spirit has taught me through the years is that how you meet fate is how fate will meet you. So if you have asked for your dream life, okay, and you did a spell, I want my dream life. Here's a spell. You keep up your offerings, you keep going to the altar, you keep doing the work, even while the trials and tribulations are happening. How you have met those situations, how you have met those trials, how you have met all the stuff that you're experiencing. Eventually, when you make it into the position of having your dream life as defined by you, because I don't know, I wouldn't just light a candle and be like, I want my dream life. I would definitely tell them what I'm asking for in terms of my dream life. Otherwise, they're, what are you supposed to do with that? So dream life, what? That can mean so many things. Anyways, though, going back to how you meet the situations, that's how fate eventually will meet you. A very easy way to talk about this is relationship stuff. So say that you ask for like a certain kind of community, or you're asking for a certain kind of partner, a certain kind of relationship, and you do a spell for that. If we talk about it for like an intimate partner specifically, I think that might be just a little bit easier to talk about. But community works too. Community and intimate partner, they're both relationship based. Say that then you do a spell for community and you do spells for like intimate partnership, the works. And now all of a sudden you're losing friends. Now all of a sudden you're being betrayed by a bunch of people. Now all of a sudden you're seeing like the evil in people that you didn't know was there before. Crazy to have that happen. I've had that happen too. Not fun, okay? How you meet those people is how fate eventually is going to meet you for what you asked for within the types of relationships that you did the spells for in the first place. The people who betrayed you, the people who have done you wrong, in terms of this spell work, not just like on a general level, that would be different. But the people who betrayed you and done you wrong, if you've been, patient and understanding and you put up justified boundaries, more than likely you're going to meet people when you make it to the destination who are patient and graceful and also are full of justice. You see, you might not have it in right after you do the spell in the middle of the work before you get to it. But what happens is if you can basically like prove, okay, because you have to earn it. So if you can prove to the spirits that you're going to handle what you're asking for, how you need to handle it, you're also going to be prepared along the way to handle what you're asking to handle, to receive what you're asking to receive. And I call this earning the rights. You ask for the right of community, to have a loving, safe, kind community who loves you and will, support you, etc., etc. Oh my gosh, the ravens have arrived. Hello guys, love ya. They're so good. But anyways, okay, again, back to the story. Once you like do the proof work, you know, I have this theory that I'm worth this thing and I'm going to do a spell. Now I'm going to prove. I have to do the proof work of the theory that I have. And when the spirits have you go through, the spirits on your team, spirit, God, goddess, you know, whoever you might pray to and work with. Once they have you go through all the things that you need to go through, well, then you've earned the right of it, which means eventually it's going to show up. It still might take some time. You know, patience is kind of required for that kind of stuff. And also, it's going to be there. So, earning the right. Because I don't know, when I first started doing ritualistic magic, I sort of had this misconception that I would do the spell and then like it would come in like 3 months from now or 6 months from now. There are spells I have done that have taken years, okay? There are spells, that's just how, because I ask for a lot. That's how spirit works with me. I ask for a lot. When I do magic, I'm like, okay. Because when I go to magic, it's because I can't do it by myself. You know what I mean? If I could do it by myself, I would go and do it by myself. However, sometimes that's not possible. Sometimes it's not as simple as just picking yourself up and walking down the street and doing whatever it is that you're asking for. Sometimes you do need the help of magic and you need the help of the spirit. So if that's the case, okay, well then you've got to go and you've got to earn the right of the thing that you're asking for. It's freaking crazy. So there's spells that I've done that have taken like years and years and years long because I've had to earn the rights of what it is I was asking for. And it took years because there was multiple lessons. There was also healing work that had it been any quicker, terrible. Okay, that would have been a hard time, harder than, and it was already hard. Plus, depending on how developed your practice is, like for example, for myself, I have a bunch of layers to it, okay? Ancestral, the goddesses, the gods, and like a lot of spirits that sit at my altar. So we're working through the different layers with the different spirits who are involved. Societal, institutional also, if you want to count that. Institutions being like government, structure, capitalism, stuff like that, which is not always so fun. And also related on a God level, has to do with the generations that come before us. So there's that. Cultures, right? Cultural, like understanding culturally your place in society, understanding culturally where you come from. That has to do with ancestral stuff. Also, the reason that I bring that up is because sometimes what we ask for requires cultural exchange. And you have to earn that too. Crazy. Okay. Anyways, this was kind of a longer video, but I've literally explained that like 3 or 4 different times in the matter of 24 hours. So I figured I would bring it up here in case you want to know. Yeah, I call it earning the rights. I'm sure there's probably a lot of other names for it, but that's what I call it. That's what I've learned to call it. And you do have to keep up the offering. At least for me, this is how my magic works. Again, always discern. If I do a spell work and I'm asking for something specific and then I'm going through and earning the right, I've got to make sure that I give the spirits what they want to make sure that that spell work continues while I'm still earning the right of it before it shows up. So, you know, remember to take care of your spirits because then they're going to take care of you. Yeah. Go and love them. They're going to love you too. Okay. So gratitude represents love to you because it is, right? Because it is. Keep up the work you do. I will too. Keep up the brew you do also. And I for sure will too. Crazy, honestly. What a crazy life we live. This is what a crazy world we live in. More to say on that another time. Lots to say on that a lot. You know what I mean? But anyways, not to get super existential. I'll talk to you soon. Also true.